Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Whitmire. We will be beginning the BiG webinar for June. We would like to welcome you to our Bold Insights Gathering webinar. We are excited to present a demonstration of the new Sedona-X Mobile App. The Sedona Office integration is slated for the end of third quarter, so keep your eyes out for that notification. Some housekeeping items as we get started. The webinar is in lecture format and all are muted for the session. The webinar tools are available in the window on the right-hand side of your screen. To collapse the screen, you can use the right arrow to slide it out of view. To ask questions during the session, please enter them in the questions section of the tools window. We will be happy to answer questions as the session is progressing. Any questions that are left unanswered will be posted after the webinar. We have a few announcements. Due to the coronavirus outbreak and travel restrictions for many, we've moved our live classes to virtual events for the time being. The courses through September will be virtual. We will continue to make determinations as the news progresses. That means when you attend the live class, you will do so from the comfort of your own office. We will send instructions on how you will be expected to attend and how you can achieve certification. The content and the instructors will remain the same. You can check out the list of our courses on our website at www.boldgroup.com. The BiG webinar for next month will be SIMS, a review of essential functions within SIMS 3 for Windows. This session is being recorded and you can expect it to be delivered to your email tomorrow. We will also post it to the BiG file in BoldU. If your company does not have a login to BoldU yet, please go to learn.boldgroup.com and complete the form to request access. All customers receive complimentary access to BoldU's Level 1 content for their entire organization simply by registering. And now on with the webinar. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today Justin DeBaggis, Caitlin Denninger, and Travis Pepe. Caitlin is a software trainer for the Sedona Office and Alarm Biller applications. She previously worked as a financial analyst for a security company in New York, where the company she worked for transitioned to the Sedona Office product. She has over 10 years of combined experience working within the Sedona Office platforms. Travis is our VP of Development. He joined the Bold Group from Perennial Software, where he was the Chief Technology Officer. During his time with Perennial Software, Travis architected, developed, and launched the Alarm Biller product. He leads a team of software engineers, product managers, and quality engineers, and he is passionate about building solutions around the user experience while targeting the latest technological innovations. Justin is our Director of Sales in the Accounting Division, and he has been in the industry for 10 plus years. He has worked with the top security companies, providing the best-in-class financial accounting and business management software, and that is Sedona Office. He also spent time working with a leading wholesale monitoring group, and I'm going to go ahead and transition this over to Travis. I apologize. Justin is going to go ahead and do your demonstration today. And Justin, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me get my screen up here. Okay. Before I get going, I just want to confirm everyone can see my screen and hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Awesome. So most of you know me from years working together, and the highly anticipated app is here, and I think that's an understatement at the highest degree. So we're very excited. Today we're going to be going over the app that's now available for Alarm Biller, and will be available very soon for all of our Sedona Office customers that are on the webinar today as well. The app itself will work with any iOS or Android devices. So the application is cross-platform. Right now and today, walking through this the webinar today, I will be going and showing a view from my iPad device, but you can use both applications with using and accessing the app. It will work on a tablet or a phone as well, which was different than some of our apps in the past. So very exciting. Happy for everyone to be here. And just as a high-level agenda, I'm really going to go through a general navigation first, through all the various tabs, the different features, and then we'll actually go through, the day in the life of a technician, and we'll walk through what the process looks like from start to finish. And while you're going through, again, ask questions, and we will engage with you, and at the end, make sure that we get all those answered for you. So let's begin. Looking at the app here, we have basically our home screen when you first log in. So if I come and tab at the top, you can see all the different tabs running down. So we have our work orders, calendar, which is going to show me my general calendar, task lists, which are essentially to-do lists that I can assign tasks to myself or other users. Take a payment. So I know a lot of people are very excited about the ability to take a payment directly through this app, especially utilizing a device where you can, a MagTech device where you can slide and capture the payment through that third-party device, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. Accessing of general customer information, which I'll dive into. Customer favorites, so if you have like a top 5 or top 10 customers that you want to flag and have those grouped together, all of those will be listed in your customer favorites. And then a grouping of all your contacts. So these are all contacts throughout the application. So if you ever want to drill into a contact, bring up their information, give them a call, check any interactions or notes that we have from past interactions with them, you can access those and bring those up directly through the application. So starting at the top here, we have our work orders. So if you actually drill into the work orders tab, this is going to show all of my work orders. And what you can do at the top here is I can search by the work order ID or the site name for these specific work orders. So these are all work orders throughout the application based on how my permissions are set up and what I can access. So I can search from these work orders, and then I can actually drill into the physical work order itself. I can view all of the appointments and then all the pertinent information regarding that specific work order. So if I wanted to pull up this work order and I wanted to access and add additional appointments, I could add additional appointments through here, but it will basically give me the general look and information pertaining to this specific work order. So if you go back, you can actually generate work orders using this tab at the top here. This will create the work order, and I can show you how you can assign the appointments too. I'll wait to do that when I actually go into the physical calendar itself. So the work orders, again, high level compiling a list of all open work orders that I have within the system. So I go back to the home screen. I can then tab down into my calendar. The calendar is going to open up for myself, since I am working as a technician. It's going to open up the calendar and show a viewing of all of my appointments for a specific time period. So I can look down here at the bottom and I can take a view of my work week, the actual week, the specific day that I'm working on, and then I can actually toggle down to the month as well. This is a really neat view. When you actually go into the month, you can see I can highlight and see the different appointments that I have. And if I click or select on that specific day, it will have a running list of all of the appointments or work orders that I have listed into there. And then if I want to drill into any of these actual appointments, I can just double click on the appointment and it will drive me right into that appointment and that work order as well. I can also filter. So if I want to just look at, if I'm a manager and I'm logging in and, I have access to all of my technicians and I just want to see, or maybe I have dual roles. So, I'm out in the field as well and I just want to see my tickets. I can filter and toggle through these and take a view and look at some of the different selections from there. I can also search by technician. So again, if I'm a manager, if I have access to other technicians, and I just want to group by a specific tech, I can come in here and search, pick the technician I want to group by, or technicians, and actually see all of the appointments for the selected technicians that I have across the board there. And I'm going to go back to my work week. Now, a couple ways that you can actually create an appointment in a new work order. So I can see for myself for today, here's all of the appointments that I have listed within here. And then also if I need to or want to double click, I can just pick the time slot that I want to create the work order for, select work order, and then from here I can create this appointment. So if there was an existing work order that was already open and I was just generating an appointment, I could pick the customer and then select the work order that we had open. If I want to create a new appointment and create the new work order, I would select this button here, and then it would allow me to pick the customer that I want to generate the appointment for, select the specific site, and then pick the system if I had a system, which I didn't have for this specific customer. If you navigate to the bottom, I can pick the time frame. I can select the technician that I want to create this appointment for, and then for the appointment itself, all of my clocking features. I actually have time and attendance turned on for this, and we'll cover that when I go back to the home screen. And then just an appointment description for, general description. So some companies, from my experience, like to have this, ability for their technicians to actually generate the appointments and work orders. Some don't. So, after hour services, emergency services, you do have the ability to allow techs on the fly, if you so choose to generate and create these appointments and work orders. So toggling back, dispatching yourself and putting in your times for your appointments. You can do that directly through the calendar screen, or you can do it from the home screen, which is where I'm going to navigate from as we walk through kind of like the day in the life of a technician, right? Just running down the sidebar here before we do that, there's also tasks. Tasks are essentially to-dos. They're follow-ups, they're reminders. I can assign tasks to myself, or I can assign tasks to other individuals. So if I had a follow-up item that needed to be escalated and I wanted to create a task for a manager to reach out, I could create a task through here, assign it, and if they have access to the app, they'll be able to review those tasks and follow up as necessary. So if I drill into this task here, you can see I created a task for myself to call Maria within the office because the customer had a question about a few upgrades, and they called me directly, and I wanted to make sure that I covered those before I got on site today. I can pick a follow-up date and time. I can set a reminder, so I actually automatically receive a reminder via email if I set that date within there. The status of this specific task, is it a high priority? Is it a low priority? And so all the tasks and management for your task can be done right in your home screen. And the beauty of this is it pops up. It's right in front of my face. So when I log in for the day and I go into the app, I can see, okay, what's my day look like today? What's my upcoming appointments? Where are my tasks? Which ones are overdue? Which ones are new? And which ones do I have to follow up on? Taking a payment. So using a credit card swiping device, and we'll get everybody information on those devices, and you can reach out to myself for support after. But we do allow the ability to capture a credit card payment using a swiping or scanning or swiping device. And then you can also manually enter the credit card information as well, which is some of you are familiar with too. So I can either take this on account, or I can actually find an invoice that I have open, and I can take a payment for that open invoice. So this would be useful for not only technicians in the field taking payment, but if you had a general user, maybe I had a customer that was overdue, I gave them a call, I got them on the phone, I hopped on my app real quick, went into the invoice, and took the method of payment right over the phone, accessing the app. So very quick, easy, intuitive to use, where you can flow through and you can actually do that by invoice. So all you have to do is select the customer that you want to choose for this. So you can see if they have a balance. You select the invoice, so I can just add the invoices right here. We'll see, I believe this customer has some invoices open. There's one. Put a description in. Click next. And then there would be your total right there. So if I wanted to use, if I wanted to add I wanted to use an existing payment on file, I could just click this drop down to use an existing payment on file, or I could click this plus button to add a new credit card or e-check, so ACH directly on the fly through the app. And then from there, I would go to next, and I would process the payment. So it's actually going to process the payment for you, apply it to the invoice, and then, obviously when it goes through, post to the customer's account. Very intuitive, quick process, great for salespeople too. If you needed to take a down deposit in the field. So across the board, a great value add from there. The customer itself, So if I want to select any and view any customers, so again, multi-purpose use for different functions within your organization. I might want to look up a customer because I want to see, what existing systems do they have installed, what equipment do they already have. I want to access any documents that we might have, contracts, PDFs, whatever it may be. I can actually open up that customer, and you can see running across the top here are various tabs that you guys are all familiar with within the application. So we have our sites. So if I want to drill down and actually see the sites, any open work orders for this customer, I can drill into the open work orders. If they have an open invoice, I can click on the invoices tab, and the same process I just walked you through before. I can go in, I can view that invoice, view what it's for, and then click this $ if I want to collect payment for that open invoice. All the payments, so if I want to review any open payments, contacts are listed within here, credits, notes. So I think you guys, get the picture from there, but also documents, which we'll go through when we're going through the actual technician piece. You can take pictures, you can add documents in. If you have to take a picture of contract, site diagram, whatever it may be, you can actually add pictures on the fly through the app as well. Custom fields, and then entering notes. So if you need to enter in a note through the app, you click on this plus button up here, and this is actually like a customer level note. This isn't tied to the work order just yet. You can use the speak to text. I actually have a keyboard here. Click submit, and that will save the note, stamp it, and that's accessible through that customer from there. Added feature, the ability to add customers on the fly as well. So obviously, restricted by permissions for the specific user, but you do have the ability to go in and you can add a customer directly on the fly through the application as well, submit that, and walk through that process. So we're going to go back to the home screen here. Now we're going to actually walk through, a technician's day, if you will. So when we come back into the home screen, let me get a refresh here. So you can see my time clock is actually running at the top here. So time and attendance is fully integrated with the application. So if I started my shift for the day, you can see this is the shift, my current punch-in or time code for that, and then I can start any additional tasks that I need to. So travel time, dispatch, or any times that are actually tied into the status updates when I arrive, depart, etc. through my specific appointments. But this will show you that time and attendance and that running clock. So I started a few hours ago, and then I've had some appointments that I've walked through, and now I'm looking at my upcoming appointments, and I'm going to move on to my next appointment. So I can click onto this appointment here. It will drill open the physical appointment itself. It will have all the information for the appointment. If I want to open up a map view, and I want to actually open this up with my Google or Apple Maps, here's the site address for the customer, so I can quickly access that. And then if I drill down here, you can see here's the physical work order, and I'm in the appointment right now. This is the time that it was scheduled for, the technician, and then I can actually put in my clocking and my dispatch time. So here's my punch in for that time, and you can see it will automatically tie in with time and attendance. So here's that pay code or that punch in for the time and attendance. And then once I click save, what I can do is I can notify the customer. So I'm letting the customer know, hey, I just dispatched myself, I'm on my way. So from a customer service standpoint, letting know that you're en route. And you can see this will actually update the task that I'm on. So here's my open shift for the day, and here's the specific task that I'm working on, and I'm dispatching, so I'm en route. When I get on site, I can come back into the application. I can put my arrival time in and punch in. And then if I want to drill into the physical work order itself, I can go into the work order. And when navigating into the work order, this is going to have, all of the components encompassing, working through that specific ticket. So here's the work order. I first come in, here's the fees if you want to allow the technicians to see that. Additional information. So everything, I have that 360-degree view as a technician of, what's the appointment? What am I going out to do? and what are, kind of the next steps. The general description. So best practices, if you're receiving this call within the office, from the customer for service, you go in, you can generate the service ticket, and then you're going to put a brief description in for the technician, any information for the technician that they need to know. So you can see AC power failure trouble. And then, so this brief description is really going to be for the technician, and then any additional customer comments that you want to leave for that technician as they're working through that ticket. So I can come up to the top here at any point if I need to actually drill into the customer site or any of these additional fields. I can email the customer. I can make a quick phone call to the customer directly through here. And then across the top, you can see the various tabs that I have. So there's, if we had multiple appointments, there's, the appointments tab where I can drill into those appointments. There's the parts tab, which will actually access my warehouse. So if I need to add a part on the fly, so I get on site, I'm replacing equipment, I'm adding additional equipment, I can click on the parts tab and I can add a part directly through the fly as well.
While that's doing that, Justin, we can go ahead and do one of the poll questions. So if everyone will pay attention, we'll go ahead and launch this. So what staff members in your office are most likely going to use the Sedona-X mobile app in your company? Click as many that apply. We have technicians, salespeople, administrative staff, or upper management. And then let's share the results. So we have 97% say that technicians will use it, 39% say salespeople, 36% administrative staff, and 33% upper management. So it looks like a good portion across the board besides just technicians. So
awesome, thank you. Okay, so moving across the board here, we have our parts tab. We can add the equipment on the fly. So if I click on the plus button up here, I can actually access my warehouse and all of the parts that I have available. I can select the part that I want to add and add that part directly to this ticket. That'll update the pricing if this is not covered under a service or maintenance agreement based on my service level. So you can see we just simply added that part. We got the picture of it that's listed right here. So, and then if I need to go in from a search standpoint, it's very, very simple up top. It's a smart search. I can search from different fields within the actual part itself and quickly bring that up and then add those parts on the fly. Any notes that I want to take in the field. So if I want to add any notes to this service ticket, I can add the notes to this service ticket for what was done on site. Some of these notes might be internal facing that I just want to provide for my staff. So any notes that I want to add directly to the ticket, I can add the note through here. And very similar to what I showed you before when we added a note at the actual customer level itself. I can come in here and I can add the notes, replaced power panel. Click submit, and then it has the talk to text as well. I'm going to put that stamp on here for me too. I also have different areas of notes that I can access to. So site and system notes are listed within here. And then any equipment that I actually have installed for this specific customer site and system will be listed here. So I can access all of that equipment. If I need to remove it, so if I'm actually replacing existing equipment on site, I can just flag, easily put in the removal date, click save, and flag that off within the application. And then the documents tab. So the documents tab will allow me to add any documents. So if I wanted to take a picture or add a document on the fly, I could take a picture. Maybe it's a damaged part, right? And I want to snap a picture of it because it's not covered under the warranty. So I can come right here, can just snap a picture. Of course, got to use the keypad. And I can add that picture in, and this will save that document to the record, but it will also have those documents available for later on. So if I have additional appointments or service calls, I can access those documents on the fly as well. So we'll just save the document in here, add that in, click save. and then that file would be uploaded successfully for me. So as I ran across the tab there, those are kind of going to be the primary functions as I'm working through this work order. We also have custom fields available. So the custom fields will, be whatever custom fields that you have set up within the back office. So they could be date fields, checkboxes, but I can access all of those fields directly through the application as well. As I'm going through, there it goes. And I need to complete my appointment, so I can come back to my appointment. I can put my completed time in. And then you can also take breaks. So, if this is a longer job and, I need to take a break for a lunch, I can use my pay codes from time and attendance. I can click break now. I can check out, check back into this job, and we'll accurately capture all of those times as I'm entering them into the system as well. So I can put my completed time in here and then come up and click save, and then finalize and complete this work order as I'm going through. So going back into the work order itself, I can run across, go to the finish tab, and from here, after I've presented my billing and costs to the customers, dependent upon the permission, some companies like to allow technicians to generate the invoice, some don't. So I can come into here, and based on those permissions, I can get the signature from the customer, print the customer's name, complete the work order, and work through that. So you can see right here at the top we have the different payment methods. So we can pay by a credit card. So if they had a existing credit card or e-check on file, I could just flag that I want to use one of those and click on the drop down if I had one available. I don't for this specific customer. If you're using the swiping devices, I can just swipe the credit card and add that form of payment. So the nice thing is it will allow you to use that credit card for this specific service ticket, but also save it to the customer's account so we could use it for future use as well. So I can click on the plus button here if I just wanted to add a credit card on the fly, or if I wanted to swipe one as well. I can get the signature, get the sign from the customer, and then select complete work order when I finalize and have worked through that work order. One tab I forgot to show you is really like the labor tab, right? So if I wanted to present the billing information to the customer about what they're going to be charged for, I can go through that piece as well. When you're done with your work order, you can go back to the actual home screen itself and drill back, and this will bring me to our home screen, and then I can go into my next appointment. So the nice thing with this is, not only do I have the upcoming appointments, but also can drill and navigate to the calendar within here too. So I'm not sure if we've had any questions come in, but maybe be a good time to kind of flow through some of those questions.
Yeah, Justin, I am answering some questions that I see them coming in. I don't know if I'm responding to all, so I think people can see those questions.
Okay, perfect. So that is, those are all the main components of the application that we've walked through. So Travis, not sure if any of the questions came in that, someone needed something highlighted or to walk through, but that really concludes the kind of full picture of the app and the different features available for it.
Great work, Justin. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely questions around high level. Can it do this? Can it do that? We can start going through those, or you can keep talking through some elements, and I can respond in text and send it to all. Either way works.
Okay. Yeah, if there's any specific that you see, that I can kind of highlight, feel free to walk through that piece with me. So as I'm going to go through adding a customer, because I think this is, different functionality that we don't have with our current and existing. So within the application, pulling up the actual customer information itself, if you want to go in and actually add the customer, you can go through all of the different fields of adding that customer. So let's just go through first name, Justin. Okay, so it's that easy. I mean, you walk through, you add your customer within, fill out, and then click the next button, use the customer address, and then I created a system. Literally within 20 seconds, walking through the app, you can build that customer out, and then it will, access that customer, all the sites, can generate work orders through here. I can create an invoice. I can take a payment on the fly. So if I need to click on the take a payment button, I can come in here and I can put in the amount. So we're taking like a down deposit, the receipt email that I want it to be sent to. And then from here, I can add that credit card and process the payment directly in the field board, and that easy to kind of walk through that piece.
Open it up and I'll read off some questions and give the answers that way, because it'll be a little easier for everyone to hear it that way. So a few that we just answered. There's multiple around permissions around what text can see both customers and their calendar. So we are adding a new way to control the roles and permissions, and it's no longer going to use the technician tool. It's actually going to be baked into Sedona Cloud. So you'll be able to manage your users and what your mobile app users can do via permissions. So you'll be able to control that. Let's see.
This is strictly for Sedona Office customers, for all you Alarm Biller users. That was a Sedona Office question.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, so Alarm Biller users has that capability to control right now, and we are bringing that to Sedona Office as well. Is this available to? So another Sedona Office question. Is this available to Sedona Cloud and Astute users? Yes, this will be available to all Sedona Office customers in Q3. It will, you'll need the API. That is how the app communicates with your Sedona Office data. And there's another question around, is this stored in somewhere else, or is this actually communicating with Sedona Office? So this is communicating in real time with Sedona Office using that API. And the questions are flying in. All right. This app does not allow group tickets right now. Right now we're targeting mostly feature parity with FSU, and it's very apparent that we went beyond that and added additional functionality, ability to create customers, credit card swiping, etc. So group tickets has not made it in yet. Another question around Sedona Office service tickets and jobs. So yeah, there's what Justin was just showing is actually the integration directly with Alarm Biller. So the nomenclature is a little bit different with Alarm Biller, where work orders actually encompasses both service tickets and jobs. So when you get this for Sedona Office, that menu on the left-hand side will be a little bit different. It's going to reflect the nomenclature of Sedona Office. There will be jobs and service tickets separately, as well as the appointments. It will support, in the calendar, you'll see appointments for both jobs and service tickets as well.
Yeah, if there's any questions that we don't get to, we will reach out individually, make sure we get an update and answer to them at the end. I'm trying to answer some as we walk through here as well.
Does this have to be used specifically with time and attendance? No, if you do not need to use time and attendance. If you have time and attendance turned on, you do get the quick capabilities of taking of clocking in and out.
And I saw one question from Brad. So will it show miscellaneous appointments? The answer is yes. And you can also on the calendar generate a miscellaneous appointment, Brad. So you can see at the top here, I pick which type of work order. So a little bit different nomenclature, like Travis alluded to, Alarm Biller versus Sedona, but you have your miscellaneous and then you have your work order at the top here.
Multiple questions around, will this take place? Will this replace the FSU? The answer is simply yes. This is a iOS and Android version of FSU. It's going to be both compatible with AlarmViller, Sedona Office, and Sedona-X, so it's true multi-platform. Do you have to be on Sedona Office version 6? Yes. So another good one here is what add-on modules are required to get the functionality that you see that Justin's showing today. Right now, the only add-on is time and attendance that he was presenting. We actually, part of our release schedule is in around mid Q3, we'll also be launching sales automation, which has been revamped to kind of fit the mobile experience. So there will be sales automation available as well. So salespeople, that opens up a lot of additional doors there. So right now it's sales automation and time and attendance can be additional add-ons. Is there a fee to have the app? Is it per user like FSU? Justin, you can probably cover that one.
Yeah, we'll reach out individually about pricing. So if you have any questions regarding pricing, please reach out directly to me. I'm not sure if Sarah has a slide with my contact information, but yeah, reach out directly to me and we can go over pricing for you.
So here's a good question. When you take a payment, can you save the payment method as a default EFT method? No, but that's a great feature enhancement. When it's perceived as more of like a point of sale. However, it does store that as a payment method on the customer. So that is a great option and toggle to add there. Are credit card swipers purchased through Forte? Yes, they are. We recommend, there is some new hardware out from Magtech. It's called the eDynamo. I can actually, if anyone's curious, I can run through a quick swipe if you want me to show my screen. But yes, the eDynamos are purchased from Forte, and we, as our marketing campaigns go out, we do have those links available so that you can buy it directly from Forte.
And again, you can come directly to me if you want information on the actual devices themselves. We'll get your pricing and the link over to how you purchase those.
So if the tech doesn't have a needed part, can they order it via the app? From an accounts payable perspective and like a purchase order, no, but you do have the ability to add parts or additional parts and items to work orders and or jobs, etc. Another good question here is, how does this work when hosting Sedona in-house? We do not have Sedona Cloud. The simple answer is you need to have the Sedona API. So that is Sedona Cloud with the Sedona API. Can you assign a task to someone else? Example, if a customer service needs to call a customer, can you assign a task to them? Maybe sends an email and no tasks. So yes, the tasks will and can be assigned to other individuals or users of the software. Can this work offline? This is probably one of the greatest and most exciting feature sets that we are asked continuously, and we are actively working on an offline mode. It will not be part of the original release, but I am happy to let everyone on this call know that is in the works. And as we get some momentum and get through the initial release, there could be some positive news around that coming out in Q4. So
I got a question, not sure I fully understand. So if we add the API, will the text be able to see secondary info or central station info? Later phases, we are discussing, one native app that includes alarm automation functionality and the current version that you're seeing. So yes, we have discussed that. I don't have a timetable yet, but that is something that we want to have in the future.
Yeah, and more, that is one of our number one priorities, as there's no question. So the poll that we did earlier, I think it came back with a 97% technicians. Yeah. So there are, our grand strategy is to continue to ease the use of the software and kind of, from a quality of life perspective, have every technician more capable and more able to do their jobs from one single source. That obviously means, you know, offline mode is critical when you're in the basement or et cetera, and you don't have the correct internet connection or the internet's slow. And then that takes you directly into what they're doing and why they're at the site in general. And a lot of the times, obviously, it's for installing systems and alarm and so forth. So yeah, we fully have a strategy and a plan to deliver two-way integrations and bring that also down to be able to consume and use those feature sets inside of this app. How does the display work? Previously heard FSU was only really usable on tablets and phones. So yeah, so FSU, you know, it's really catered around the user experience of an iPad. You know, it gives you the most real estate and so forth. This app has been designed with a more responsive feel to it. So if you're on the phone, it is 100% catered first to the phone, so that obviously that's what most of your techs have, as well as the iPad. And as you gain more real estate, Justin can show you there. You know, you'll get like a sidebar, or you'll get a split pane. If Justin turns his iPad portrait, you know, you'll actually see the sidebar comes out and opens up over top of the views. So we are using the real estate, and we're continuing to tweak that on different size devices.
Yeah, I'm going to show my phone.
Out of the gate, it 100% is good to go with tablets and phones. We again, another question around how this is hosted. Hosting your own Sedona office is definitely what a majority of our customers do. So as long as, again, you host your own Sedona cloud, you will, this all feeds through through the Sedona API. So yes, it will work if you host everything yourself. Some other exciting news here too is we've kind of revamped how time zones are handled. You know, we have a tricky way of handling time zones now with the current FSU, and we're actually collecting device information, so we know your offset hours and the time zone you're in conjunction with where your Sedona office is hosted. So it does make some of the time zone issues that you've had in the past easier to manage now.
Yeah, and then here's a quick view of my iPhone. So I was just working off of iPad Pro, and then here's my iPhone. So same experience, same look and feel. And I actually changed my background to a darker theme too.
Yeah, we also have some exciting news around, we've been collecting feedback from the customers that do have this right now. And it's clear that we need to make it a little more appy feeling. And really what I mean by that is that user experience, like what is the quickest thing that technicians need at their fingertips? So we actually have a feature and a project in the works, which is all around the user experience, that will be coming out here in the next couple of weeks, that kind of transforms the look and feel to some quicker things to get to, different data that's presented. Your work orders for today is more of a carousel view where you can just swipe left, swipe right, and quickly see all of the information, look ahead, look back, see what you've done. And just a little more easier navigation, the time and attendance when you're clocked in. You don't have to go into appointment to continue your dispatching your arrival. You're doing it straight from the home screen with some hot links and quick buttons. So that is really going to be effective and help with the user experience.
Okay, while you're looking at the questions, Travis, I'm going to go ahead and do this last poll since we've covered some different things within the program itself. So our last poll, let me go ahead and launch this. Which feature are you most excited about and looking forward to having in the Sedona-X Mobile App? We have being able to create a customer on the fly, being able to take a payment in the app being available for both Apple and Android devices, or the ability to generate service tickets through the app. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share the results with you. Looks like we have 9% being able to create a customer on the fly, 29% being able to take a payment on the app, 26% the app being available for both Apple and Android devices, and then 35% the ability to generate service tickets through the app. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out, and then y'all can continue with any additional questions. All right, Travis, did you see any
I have one more here. So when you take a payment, can you save the payment method as default EFT method? Yes, you can add an EFT method of payment and save that to the customer profile.
So we have a great question here as well around project management and job management functionalities. Yeah, you know, we have a plethora of features and things we want to do with the app. We also have to balance that with where we're going with Sedona-X as well. So, you know, as we evaluate every single feature, you know, we want to make sure that they fit the right spot and or can they be cross-platform, you know, as we add them. So the simple answer is yes, we have project management and job management functions and features planned, such as dashboarding, job costing, purchase orders, and so forth. I do like the idea of chatting and so forth between users. So again, all of that stuff, those are great features. I'm open to talk to anyone about the features. You know, we want to make sure this fits your needs and the user experience fits everything you want out of the app. So again, if Sarah, you're able to share my contact information, I'm happy to talk through anything, any feature, and collect all that necessary information so we can figure out what to really build out of this thing. How about the Manitou integration? Yes, you know, that part of our initiative as we continue on the alarm automation and accounting products being integrated, we will target Manitou in stages.
This will not be, the question was, Travis, will this be a mandatory switch to the system or optional? Initially, this will be optional if you want to make a switch to this FSU, this version, but we'll reach out directly to when it is available on the Sedona office end.
Yeah, it's definitely optional. You know, our goal is to make this a no-brainer to switch. You know, obviously having more support, more features added, regular, you know, builds of it, it's gonna benefit, I think, everyone. You know, Android and iOS, tablet, phone support. I think it's going to be clear. And then as we continue to work on the offline mode, you know, that's going to be coming to this.
In the chat, I just entered in my email address. So if you need to get in touch with me, further questions, we'd love to get feedback. So please reach out direct and, you know, we can coordinate from there.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and take back presentation so we can go ahead and wrap this up since we're getting close to the top of the hour. But it was a great presentation. I really appreciate everything that y'all shared today. I did go ahead and have a slide here with Justin and Travis's email addresses on it. So we have justin.debagas@boldgroup.com and Travis Pape at travis.pape@boldgroup.com. We do appreciate everybody coming to our webinar today, and we had a bunch of great questions. As we explained earlier, if there's any questions that are showing unanswered, as we do have a bunch of questions still, we'll go ahead and get those answered and responded to at the end. If you have any questions or want further information, please reach out to Justin or Travis, and they'll get that for you. We do appreciate your time, and look for our session next month with our SIMS team. Just a quick reminder, this session has been recorded and will be delivered to your email tomorrow. We're going to post it in the BiG file in BoldU. Thanks again and have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.